Stoke City are one of them teams that everyone born in the late 90s, early 2000s loves because their football back in the day was horrible. It was 4-4-2, it was long ball, it was crosses into Peter Crouch, it was having 6'4" left backs. And today, we are rebuilding Stoke in that exact manner. It was famously said by Peter Crouch on the Fellas podcast that Stoke, in their prime, would give a prime Barcelona a good game purely because how dirty they would be, how difficult they'd make the game, they'd leave the grass too long, the dark arts of football. And today I'm looking to rebuild Stoke into that exact side. We're playing a 4-4-2. I'm only allowed to sign players over 6 foot, and the end goal is winning the Premier League. And well, that is going to be quite difficult because ever since their 9 years of being a mid-table Premier League side, they've become a lower mid-table championship side, which isn't exactly what you want to see. And I have to admit, when going through this team, there's not many players there that excite me in the slightest in terms of quality or in terms of playing Stoke ball. So there's a lot to change here. We have got a decent strike partnership with Ryan Marmay up front, who is 6'2", and he's going to fit into that target forward role for now. Ideally, I want myself a Peter Crouch, a 6'7" demon up there, who is going to be an absolute nightmare for defenders. While Tom Cannon, we know he can score goals from real life. He scored 4 the other night in 1 game. Hopefully he can do that for us this season, although he is only on loan, and I don't imagine the money here at Stoke is fantastic. We have got 2 wingers who are fairly decent. Milan Manawef, I think, is a fantastic player in FM, and while I can't sign anyone over 6 foot, I can keep some, and I think Milan will be one of the only players which stays at the club. He's got great pace, great dribbling, great crossing, and great determination, and I think down that left-hand side or right-hand side, because he is right-footed, he will be absolutely brilliant. For now, Lyndon Gooch is a right mid. Not a massive fan, he's not fantastic. In midfield, we've got Ben Pearson, whose stats look great, but he's 5'9". He's not going to make it in this team. He's going to go pretty swifty, even if he is very good. And next to him is Wouterberger, who is going to stay around. A 6'3" big Dutch central midfielder. We need 2 of them in there, not just 1. The defence is simply set up to get the ball and get rid. 2 central defenders in Ben Wilmot and Ben Gibson, with Zico at right back and Edna Stevens at left back. Their choices are not even to really overlap, but cross from deep and get it into the box. And that's exactly what you can see we're doing with the possession tactics. Hit early crosses, play direct, out wide, play for set pieces, play as wide as possible, and just be a get stuck in dirty team. I've got no idea how this tactic is going to work, let alone the actual team. We obviously need to buy players to make this tactic much better. For now, it's going to be okay. I'm looking to, break into maybe just outside the playoffs this season. Stoke are actually predicted to finish in 13th, so better than they've done in recent years. So I'd like to think we could get in and around this sort of 8th, 9th, 10th role here. West Brom, Watford and Blackburn. Not looking to really get promoted this season. It would be way too early for this team. But as mentioned, the rules of this save are pretty simple. 4-4-2 only, signing players over 6 foot and winning the Premier League. So can we do it? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's get into season 1. And well, this is exactly how we are looking to play in this game against West Brom. Get the ball down the line and whip it in. And we are going to absolutely destroy, and we are going to show this game because it is perfect. We are playing long ball. We are getting in behind to the strikers and we are scoring goals. Don't be wrong, we want to see more headers, but when our strikers are only 6'2" and 5'11", I'm not expecting it all the time. We can do slide rule passes like that as well, and Jermaine Defoe was fantastic at them, and Tom Cannon has proven exactly why he could be fantastic as well. A great ball there from Milan Manawef to Marmay, who makes it 4-0, and by the way, this is 25 minutes in. It's absolutely broken. Playing long ball meta is apparently the way. It does eventually become 4-1. But that high press system we have got in has made it 5-1 pretty quickly. And Marmay and Cannon are linking up fantastically. Not really too many headers in there. Not really many dirty challenges. But 5-1. Both our strikers grabbing a hat-trick and a brace. That's pretty perfect. And the other thing that I wanted to see this season was for our home form to be fantastic. And as things stand, we are the best team at home in the league. And that is absolutely perfect. We finished in the playoffs. It was just based on home form, but it's not. So we finished in 9th place on 69 points, pretty much exactly where I was looking to finish, just outside the playoffs, around 7 or 8 points. And Ryan Marmay was our top goal scorer and the league's top goal scorer on 26 goals, 27 in all competitions. He suited this tactic down to an absolute T, and I hope he's going to stay here as well because he isn't happy. I think he just wants a new contract we'll sort that out because he was unbelievable. And if we can get him as our little striker at 6'2" and get an absolute monster next to him, that would be fantastic because we'll be going to the absolute moon if that is the case. We have got £5 million to spend and £9,000 in wage budget, which is great to see. Stoke actually have a little bit of money. And in terms of the team, there are some players in here which I would certainly consider selling. I mean, Victor Johansson, we can't have our goalkeeper being 6'1", regardless of how good he is. It doesn't fit the bill. Takuse Seiko, 5'9", you're gone. I mean, Edna Stevens at 6 foot, yeah, he's decent, but he's just way too old. So you're gone as well. Lyndon Gooch, you're gone. I think for now I'm going to have to keep Ben Pearson and Wout Berger because they were so good last season. Milan Manouef as well is probably going to go over to that right mid position. Tom Cannon, sadly, even though scoring 15 goals, 10 assists, I'd love to bring him back. Sadly, is going to have to go. Same for Ashley Phillips as well. 6'4", was a great centre-back this season, but just way too expensive. 36 million, we don't have that sort of money. So you can see there are some key positions that need filling. We need that target forward. We need a big left winger and 2 big fullbacks and a big goalkeeper. So let's see what we can bring in. Well, first of all, we had to raise the money. So Victor Johansson left the club for 12 million quid to Altai. That's an absolute great deal for us. He is a fantastic goalkeeper. And while this is not a realistic rebuild in the slightest, it is going to be a very fun one. We also raised another £5.5 million on getting rid of Eric Bocat, Niall Ennis, Andre Vidgal for 4.2 to Derby, and Bae Jean Ho. So we had around £25 million to spend. But I only spent £5 million, and that's because I signed a striker who is absolutely perfect for just 1.5 million. Paul Onuachu from Southampton. He is 6'7" with 20 jumping reach, 14 heading, 17 strength. I think he ticks the box of that target forward on support role pretty damn well. And I think he's going to be pretty broken in the match engine as well. I can't wait to see Big Paul make Big Ryan look tiny because this guy is an absolute monster. Whipping balls into them is going to be 23-year-old 6'2" right winger Matthew Garbett, signed from NAC Breda. Quite difficult position to try and ball. I'm finding there's not too many wingers or wing backs that are above 6 foot, so our talent pool is a little bit limited. So we're going to have to do what we can do with Big Matthew and move Manouef over to that left-hand side again. But to be fair, I like this guy quite a lot. He's got some decent speed. He's got good dribbling. He's not consistent. He doesn't like big matches, but, you know, he's pretty decent. And speaking of pretty decent, we've got a Premier League man of the match winning centre-back in Johnny Evans, signed from Manchester United on a free agent contract. He's 6'2". He brings an experience, and that is exactly what he's here for. As a free contract on 7k a week for just 12 months, I can't see anything going wrong with this piece of business. And hopefully you can teach this absolute behemoth of a man, Finley Burns, some things, because he's 6'5", but potentially lacking that little bit of quality. And I think having someone like Johnny Evans in the mentoring group with him could massively help. We've got him a loan deal from Manchester City, but we are looking to buy him at the end for just £190,000, which is a bargain. He's 6'5", he can head a ball, he's got great jumping reach, and I think he's going to be great. We have utilised that loan market quite well, as we've also signed Yusuf Shamiti from Everton on a loan deal. He's 6'4", so he fits the bill, he's quick, and he can finish, and he's very consistent as well. So he could be a great player to pick up for the Premier League season when we do eventually get there. We've got an optional fee of just £2.5 million on him, and I know he can grow into an absolute superstar. And just 21 years of age, again, that seems like a fantastic risk-free piece of business. We carried on with the free agent market, signing Dominic Iorfa as a backup right back for just nothing, and then fixed our goalkeeping issue, signing Alireza Berenvidad on a free contract after his contract at Tractor, yes, that's a real club over in Iran, ran out. He is absolutely fantastic, though. He is the Iran goalkeeper we see in real life. He's 6'4", unreal aerial reach and jumping reach, supreme consistency, and he loves big matches as well. And he's going to be a great goalkeeper for us. Back into the signed players, we've got Carl Fredrik Gunnarsson, who is a backup right mid. Not quite as good as Garbett, who was signed, but it's going to be decent and a great rotation option. This guy might lack the quality, but he's 6'5". It's big Jonathan Russell, signed from Barnsley. He's just done a full season with them for the Championship, getting relegated down to League One and not playing very well, but he's 6'5". And I think in this system it will work quite well as a rotation option. And when Ben Pearson, you know, shakes his hand as he comes off, we're going to have an absolute giant in midfield next to Wout Berger. And finally, we've signed a big left back in Alexa Amaniovic. The Macedonian left back is signed from Astana. yeah, he's left the Champions League side to come to Stoke. That's my absolute icon. He's not great going forward, but he's big, he's physical, and he's good in consistency as well, which means our team now is finished and looks pretty different to how it used to look. We've got Brentford in goal, Gunnarsson, Wilmot, Gibson, and Amanovic at the back four, Garbett, Pearson, Berger, and Manuif as our midfield four, with Onuachu and Mame up front. I expect us to absolutely dominate teams in the Championship this season, purely based on physicality. Again, we are predicted to finish 12th. We are looking to upset them odds and absolutely smash it this season. And we'll just look through some of these stats. We have won the most headers at just under 2,000. The most yellow cards with 97. The most goals on 106. And my two favourites, the most crosses completed and the most goals from indirect free kicks by quite some distance. That is exactly what we're looking to build. And it certainly helps when that gets you into the playoffs. A ball in, and Yusuf Shamiti makes it 1-0 in just 4 minutes against Luton before Ryan sticks it home from the spot to give us a 2-0 and commanding lead in the semi-finals, where Luton may have grabbed a goal from Tahith Chong to make it 2-1, but Amanovic whipped it into the back stick for Gibson to bring it down. Fight Manuif for 3-2. Luton scored in the 91st minute, but don't worry, it meant nothing, and we're going to a playoff final. And in that playoff final, it was Yusuf Shamiti, the loan signing, which made us 1-0 winners and going up to the Premier League. What a season. We done all of our goals playing dirty, hard 4-4-2 football, and we got promoted. And the loan signing of Shamiti was absolutely fantastic. This season he bagged a grand total of 26 goals in 44 starts. He was outrageously good, and remember, we can sign him for just £2.5 million, so that is certainly what we are going to be doing. But don't worry, because it wasn't just him on the score sheet. Ryan Mame was actually our top goal scorer in 33 games, but our best player in the whole season on average rating was 7.32, even though he only scored 17 goals, is Paul Onuachu. That target forward and support role, that must have suited him very well, because he absolutely smashed it. And that is exactly what I want to see. Assist wise, our wingers are getting 14, 13, 11 and 9, which is brilliant. Even Ben Wilmot is getting 8 assists when he's playing at right back. Matthew Garbett, who I was worried about this season, was actually pretty decent. 6 goals and 7 assists. He has done a very good job for us. Wouterberger 6 and 4. Sam Gallagher is still knocking about 5 and 3. I mean, he is 6'4", so he's quite helpful off the bench, of course. But overall, I'm absolutely in love with what we've created here. This is like pure Barclaysman of football. But if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure to like the video. And if you have ever liked one of my videos, or if this is the second or third video you've watched of mine, make sure you're subscribing as well, because FM25 is going to be absolutely mental, and you do not want to miss out on the fantastic content coming up. For season 3, of course, the boards have backed us massively with £37 million to go and spend. So let's go bring in some absolute giants. Well, first order of business was bringing in Shamiti on his permanent deal, and the second was Finley Burns as well. He was just 190,000 and actually played 35 games for us last season, was pretty damn good. So he might not be fantastic, he's definitely not Premier League quality, but he certainly knows how to do a job in this system, and he's coming for an absolute bargain. We carry on the bargains with free agent deals. Iax Moriba comes in from RB Leipzig. You might not think it, but he is 6'1", and he of course has that technical ability we all know and love. We also signed Chris Metham to come in and be a better centre back than Finley Burns. He's slightly more experienced. He's 6'3". He's very consistent, and he'll be a great addition to the side. We have got 2 big signings coming up though. Number 1 is Tahith Chong to be our attacking left midfielder. Great pace, great crossing, great dribbling, great flair, consistent, and he's had a few chances in the Premier League now, and I think at Stoke he can become unreal. And finally, it's a superstar goalkeeper, James Trafford. He's 6'6", and he comes in from Burnley, and he's absolutely fantastic. Looking at the tactic, the team hasn't changed too much from last season, just a few additions, and I think these additions are going to be brilliant. I honestly think playing this sort of way in the Premier League could be very effective. You see teams like Man City that really struggle against teams that make it difficult for them, that physically outdo them. And we're going to have to just try and be a physical side for a good 2 or 3 seasons until we can buy players which are going to be better quality and also big and strong. So for now, it is about survival in the Premier League for the next 2 or 3 years. I mean, there is simply no better way this could have gone. This is our first game in the Premier League at home at the Bet365 Stadium. I'm going to call it the Britannia because we are bringing Stoke back. And we're up against Southampton. And Paul Onuachu grabbed a goal in 10 minutes and then in 27 minutes. And we're just going to go at absolute madness. I don't know what's happened here, but maybe this style of football actually is unbelievable in the Premier League because Paul Onuachu, this 6'7" striker, has grabbed a hat-trick in 67 minutes. Milan Manuef then found Ryan in the box to make it 4 in 70 minutes. And we made it 5 from a corner. I don't know what's happened, but Stoke are so back, and I'm absolutely here for it. And our next game at home was against Manchester City, and we done exactly what I wanted to do. Make it difficult for them to play. Be hard, be aggressive. We had 30 fouls, we had 30% possession, and we drew the game 2-2. I love it. This is the Stoke way. And with results like that made us safe in the Premier League just by 2 points, beating Brentford, who have won the Europa League and are going to be in the Champions League and the Championship. FM is wild and wacky, and I absolutely love it. We are sitting in 17th place. Survival has been secured, and it's all been down to Paul Onuachu. He grabbed 20 goals this season. He was our sole outlet. He got a 7.16 average rating. Just having a 6'7" striker is unheard of, and it's an absolute dream. One thing that happened, we lost our centre-back this season, which is a little bit of a shame, but overall the team was absolutely, I mean, let's be honest, pretty rubbish, but it done its job to absolute supreme, and I love it. In terms of the height of the team, everyone now is above 6 foot, other than Milan Manuef, who is 5'10". By the time we win the Premier League, I do want to have every single player above 6 foot. I just love the absolute giants we've got. Our fullbacks are 6'2". Our midfielders are 6'3" and 6'1". A 6'7" striker. It's absolutely stunning. And for season 4, signing the big boys carried on as Harry Pickering came in as our brand new left back. Mark Pubil came in as our brand new right back. He is 6'3". I love it. We also brought in Luke McAnally, a 6'4" Irish centre back. And the last big signing is John Duran. Yes, we've brought in the Premier League super sub, and it's safe to say he isn't quite as good yet, but hopefully he gets there because he is unbelievable. It was actually a free contract as well after he left Aston Villa. He just didn't play a single game in 26-27, and we picked it up on a 3. He scored 5 goals, got 2 assists, but Big John is here at Stoke, and it helped us in season 4 to get 11th place in the Premier League, so making some massive strides. 15 points better off and on the edge of getting into European football. So season 5 was the season when we're looking to sign that upper echelon of talent and now take Stoke to battling for European football. And sign number 1, I think, is a pretty good one. It's Samuel Illing Jr. signed from Aston Villa. He is 6'2", so he's just on the cusp of being usable in this rebuild, but he's pretty decent. He's quick, he's good going forward, he's consistent, he likes big matches, he's just 24 years of age, and I think he's going to be absolutely brilliant. But don't worry, because these signings are going to get progressively better. Next up is Dean Hyson, signed from Norwich after being at Bournemouth for £15 million. He is 6'5". He is an absolute wonder kid in real life, and it's unreal that he's gone to Bournemouth from Juve. Fair play to him. He is brilliant. He's quick, he's good in the air, and he's consistent. And he's just 23. So this guy really is going to be good enough to win Premier League titles. And next up is my boy Rasmus Højlund. He absolutely smashed it in the Ipswich FC 25 rebuild. If you haven't seen that one, go and watch that after this because it was unbelievable. And this guy was unreal. I'm looking to see if we can do the same on FM with him as well. He is 6'3". He is extremely quick. He has 17 jumping reach, good heading, consistent. It's just not worked for him so far in FM, and hopefully we can change that around. He's been on loan at Brentford. He's played just 30-40 odd games for United. That's all changing today. He's going to be a Stoke legend. We then dip down to some free agent and some cheaper bits of business, like number 1, Habib Onguene. Tommy Stepford joins our backup goalkeeper from Arsenal. Jackson Tachusha joins from Hellas Verona as a backup right mid or right back. And finally, we signed Rafael Monday from Liverpool to be a backup left back. purely because he's 6'4". We've now managed to bring in some absolute quality into the side, as well as being big old men. We've got James Trafford, Mark Pubel, Chris Metham, Dean Hyson, Harry Pickering, Milian Manawef, Alex Moriba, Wouter Berger, Taif Chong, John Duran, and Rasmus Højlund. Let's be honest, John Duran, mate, it's going to be Paul Onuachu and Rasmus Højlund up front. In terms of height, 6'6", 6'3", 6'3", 6'5", 6'1". Milian Manawef still 5'10". Moriba 6'1", Wouter Berger 6'3", Chong 6'1", Onuachu 6'3", Rasmus Højlund 6'3". The whole bench, other than Ben Pearson, is above 6 foot as well. We have rebuilt Stoke into a physical masterpiece. And because of that, this season, I want one of the cups to come in, the Carabao or the FA Cup, and I want to get us into the top 7 or 8, whatever is needed for European football. We are predicted 19th. We know that's not going to be the case. We're predicted 12th and got promoted from the Championship. So we know we can get up there in and around this Bournemouth, Newcastle, Brentford, Manchester United range, and hopefully we can show the world what big, physical 4-4-2 football can do. And with the FA Cup, we faced Arsenal in the 3rd round, so we got knocked out of that quite quickly. And we also fell out of the 2nd round of the Carabao Cup, which is, yeah, pretty embarrassing. So no cup competitions this season. But the things that helped us in the Championship of winning the most headers, having the most yellow cards, completing the most crosses have all come to fruition here in the Premier League, because we managed to match exactly that in terms of the stats. We have got in to 7th place in the Premier League, the UEFA Conference League, the one we know we can go and win as well. We finished on 63 points, another 13 points different, and I don't know if this is true, but I think it might be the first time Stoke are in a European competition. I might be wrong there, but I'm not 100% sure. They were finishing around 9th in 2013. They've never won a European competition, so I'd like to add that as a goal as well, of winning a European competition. The last time they won a major trophy was the Carabao Cup back in 1972. So over 60 years for Stoke. Let's try and make it not get to 70, and let's win some big old trophies for season number 6. I mean, the team this season again was brilliant. Milian Manawef, it is so hard to drop him because he is our main assist outlet. 14 assists this season. Harry Pickering at left back with 9 as well. He might not have the quality, but in this system, he just suits it down to a T, and it's brilliant. Taif Chong, 7 assists, 5 assists for Rasmus Højlund, who was outscored by Paul Onuachu again. Again, in terms of ability, he's just a 2-star player, but he's dropping 7.2 average ratings and getting 18 goals. It has to be studied because he's that good. We are going to move away from him. His contract is running out, and I think I'm going to let him go because I want to bring in someone younger and better. And I've got my eye on someone that replaces him pretty damn well. It is the 6'6" Swedish Jonah Kusi Asare, signed from Bayern Munich. He is outrageously good. He is outrageously tall, and he is fantastic in big matches. And the partnership of Asare and Rasmus Højlund is going to carry Stoke to Champions League glory. Well, that's not really the goal. Premier League glory is the goal. So we've also signed some other players. And Bilbao comes in from Alaves. He's 6'2" with 16 acceleration at 21 years of age. Yes, please. We've also signed Gerardo Jimenez from PSG, a 6'6" Mexican centre-back with 5-star wonder kid potential. And then went back to the free agent signings to bring in some experience. So welcome Lorenzo Pellegrini from Roma. Leandro Morgana comes in from Salzburg. And finally, Lucas Bergvall comes in from Spurs. Again, someone you're surprised is 6'1". Very good on the ball, great technically, great physical stats, and is going to add that little bit of class into the midfield. And I think this team is now absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love it. 2 strikers which can score goals, 2 wingers which can whip a ball in, quality in the midfield, a big, meaty, but also young defence, and a fantastic goalkeeper. This Stoke side is ready to go to the very top. Well, that's what I thought. Because Rasmus Højlund left us on the 4th of August for £45 million, which is a release clause, and I didn't realise it till the end of the season. That didn't stop us from winning a European competition, however, but it does show the quality we have missed, as Emre Tezgel, the Stoke wonder kid striker, ends up scoring in the final to make us 1-0 winners against Iceborg. And while it's absolutely fantastic that that's just happened, it shows that there is a real issue up front, and over the course of the season, consistency was difficult to garner. As we finished down in 13th place and a massive drop off in our goals output. We obviously had Paul Onuachu and Rasmus Højlund as a dual threat. We lost both of them in one summer. And it was a big adjustment year, and having someone like Emre Tezgah starting a European competitions final isn't exactly ideal. We certainly struggled this season, we'll be completely real. John Duran was very good, 17 goals, 2 assists, and Yona Kusi Asare also 17 goals and a 7.3 average rating, so suiting that target forward role very well. But having Emre Tezgah as the backup striker rather than John Duran hurt us quite a lot. He grabbed 9 goals and got 1 assist, but just a 6.79. We've had season with Ryan Mame, who was left a few years ago due to not being quality-wise, where he was scoring 20 goals as our backup. That's what John Duran should be, and we now need to go and replace that. I still think our squad is very strong. Samuel Illing Jr. for 5 million was an absolute bargain. He grabbed 12 assists this season. Dean Hyson is an absolutely fantastic centre-back, and he's 6'5" and grabbed 7 goals from corners. Milian Manuev, 14 assists. He's just an absolute joke, and 11 assists for Mark Pubel as well. But overall, I think the loss of Rasmus Højlund was a lot bigger than expected. We are in the Europa League next season, and we're looking to try and win that, and then maybe season 8 win the Premier League. So the striker we've brought in to replace Rasmus Højlund is another wonder kid. It's Sky Vink. This time signed from Napoli after absolutely smashing it at the Ajax Academy. He moved over there, hasn't had too much game time last season, and we've picked him up for just £10 million. A very similar strike partnership now to Ryan Mame and Paul Onuachu, as Suna, Konare and Vink up front are going to be unbelievable. This guy's really quick, great finishing, great dribbling, he's great consistency, loves big matches, 15 heading as well, which you might not expect, but that's pretty good up top. And we've found someone to whip the balls into him as well, and finally replaced Milian Manuev on that right wing is 6'3", wonder kid right winger, Richard Trafford. 17 dribbling, 15 crossing, great speed, 17 technique, 16 flair, and he's 6'3". I mean, he's 90 kg as well, which is ridiculous. Now, obviously, weight isn't going to be an FM25, but seeing a 90 kg, 6'3" right wing with that speed, there was no part of me which didn't need him to come in instantly. £15 million he's cost us, already a value of 64, and as mentioned, he has got the Wonder Kid tag, so we've found an absolute demon, and he fits the Stoke way. We also signed Vadigar Flixson as our backup right back. Juan Gonzalez comes in as well into midfield to potentially replace Wouter Berger. Just a bit more quality, still 6'3", a big steely ball-winning midfielder who can also get forward. I think it's something we now need to progress into. And an unbelievable free agent signing of Jan Orel Bisek from Wolfsburg. Obviously at Inter Milan in real life, ended up moving to Frankfurt and has progressed into an outrageous centre-back. Consistent, life big matches, 6'5", absolutely fantastic. And now I absolutely love this team. James Trafford, Mark Pubel, Bisek, Hyson, Bilbao, Trafford, Mariba, Joan Gonzalez, Illing, Kusi Asare and Vink. Stoke are ready for takeover. But I think it's safe to say this season our new signings absolutely smashed it. Richard Trafford bagged 21 assists from right midfield, and Jonah as our striker grabbed 28 goals. Absolutely ridiculous. And due to them two being on top four, it meant we were in battles with some of the biggest teams in the Premier League as we battered Arsenal 5-2. Liverpool also got done in 4-0 by a Jonah Kusi Asare hat-trick, and we even beat Manchester City at home 2-0. We are a dangerous side, especially in the league as well, as in terms of our home form, we won 16 games, got 1 draw and lost just 2 matches, which meant that Stoke City are Premier League champions on just 75 points. Now, I understand this isn't the best points tally we've ever seen, but I am taking this and I am running with it. We have won the Premier League with Stoke playing 4-4-2, starting 6-foot only players, and just absolutely bullying the Premier League. It is one of the most fun rebuilds we have ever done. We didn't win the Europa League, the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, sadly. So in terms of Stoke themselves, all we added to the history was a Premier League, their first ever, and a Europa Conference League trophy. If you guys want to pick this save up on Patreon, the link is down below. You can pick it up from any point. Let me know the season you want to get it from, and you can do that. And can you do me a massive favor, if you have enjoyed this video and you have absolutely loved every single moment of it, like it and make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. And if you can, leave a comment down below of Harry Potter and a wizard. So a wizard emoji for the Potters of Super Stoke City. Make sure you have a great day, and I'll speak to you next time.